Welcome to the 76th annual Santa Maria Elks Rodeo. I'm Elliott Stern. We are live right now at the Unocal Event Center where we're getting ready for tonight's first performance of the PRCA and WPRA Professional Rodeo. It's the 76th annual edition. We've had the Manetti Mini Rodeo already, crowned the first champions of the year, all youngsters. This place was packed with over 6,000 people, almost all of them school children, 3rd, 4th graders from local elementary school. And then tonight, the action gets underway for real, for money, for the big prizes to help these guys and women earn shots at the National Finals Rodeo. Now, we are live right now, and we will be broadcasting again tonight at 6 o'clock. We will repeat this program, so we're live on our Santa Maria Times website, but join us at 6 o'clock because it'll be a little different. We'll be rebroadcasting it on our Facebook page, and we'll have a live chat. So we'll be there to answer any of your questions. All you have to do is watch it and type it in, and we'll have, hopefully, all the answers. But, you know, it all started this morning with the Manetti Mini Rodeo. It's a tradition started by Clarence Manetti many years ago to get the youngsters involved in the rodeo. They're riding and roping, and this gives them a shot at showing off in front of their friends. Many of their classmates were here today, especially for the younger ones. So we had a full rodeo. It had the clown, Justin Rumford. It had the Flying Rodeo Cowboys. We had Kent Lane flying the giant American flag. And of course, Hall of Fame announcers Bob Tallman and Wayne Brooks were here. And I'll tell you, Bob Tallman and I sat down. He's a great man, a great rodeo pioneer. And we talked about the impact that this Manetti Rodeo has on the kids in the community.
You know what that whole thing's all about? It's about the love that Clarence Manetti created 75 years ago at the Far Western for adults, but he had their kids. Now their kids are in charge and they have kids. And then we have people in these schools who have kids that will be introduced to a Western culture tomorrow. And then some of them and their parents will come back to see what professional rodeo is all about. And the Santa Maria Elks over the, I don't know, last 50 years that I can know or remember, have always maintained this in a professional culture to make it bigger than big, bigger than Santa Maria. And we tie all the city into it. Of course, Dodge Ram in our own hometown, Boot Barn. My list of stores now 258 of them across the country. To all of the small retailers, large retailers, to all the major sponsors, and that the Elks make feel at home year-round, not just during the rodeo. So what a lot of people don't realize is the economic impact of about 7 days. It's not tomorrow through Sunday afternoon. It was a week ago through next Monday. And this community thrives off the economic impact of what the Santa Maria Elks Rodeo is all about. So Wayne Brooks and I, Justin Rumford, we'll have some fun. We're also going to deal them pretty big time rodeo that's a part of what we did at Oakdale, up to Red Bluff, back to Clovis, here to Santa Maria. Now we take off and go to Reno in the 4th of July and the Calgary Stampede and all the rest of it. This is kind of like the nurturing shove that puts these cowboys in place. They love to come here. Where else can you get a 60-degree night or an 80-degree day? And the coast goes out and the coast comes in, the coast goes out and the coast come in. And strawberries the size of your fist, chocolate cake like that. And a very dear friend of mine, lady that you know quite well, that brings me lemon bars. You know, when you get to be my age, it's about food, fun, more fun, and friends. And this whole dang thing is all based on that. This rodeo, this community, was built on friends. You ought to come to my town. You ought to see what we do. You ought to be a part of this.
There are people like Cody Snow.
Yep.
Now, I watched him as like a 5-6-year-old kid, team roping, breakaway roping, running barrels at that age at the Manetti Mini Rodeo. And now he's leading the Pro Rodeo Tour and team roping, and he's number 4 in the NFR standings nationally. I mean, we see that these kids that are going to be performing at the Mini Rodeo, they're the next generation of cowboys and cowgirls.
I agree with that 90%, but there's 10% of it that a lot of people don't understand. If you aren't supported by a community, a family, and a group of people that are going to nurture you through those Manetti Rodeo days, to high school, to college, to the ranks of the pros, it's very difficult. So where other professional sports and things like this work, it's a big world to have to deal with, to become one person in a group of a few thousand, to become one of the best 15 in the world. And getting it done once, that's one time. Getting it done again and again and again. You take a Luke Branquino, 5-time champion of the world. But he's been to Vegas, 15 times. And that's consistency with merit. It's family support. And it's the breed of a champion that's full dedication, 8 days a week, not 7, that keeps you going to that. This valley and all this Southern California area has made us some great champions.
I've been to the Pro Rodeo Hall of Fame several times, actually, in Oklahoma City, and Bob Tallman is named proudly up there on the wall of the other greats of rodeo, including Cotton Rosser, who brings the rough stock, the bulls and the bucking broncos here every year. He's a Cal Poly grad. His whole family's Cal Poly grad. He's even got an honorary doctorate degree from Cal Poly he got a couple of years ago when one of his granddaughters was getting her master's degree. So they're Cal Poly through and through, even though they live in Marysville up north, just north of Sacramento. But he never misses the Santa Maria Elks Rodeo. And they're just some of the people that continue the rich traditions that rodeo brings to the Santa Maria Valley. And this rodeo is huge. It's one of the biggest, well, it's a medium-sized rodeo, but it's one of the biggest ones in California. And it takes a lot of people to put it on. A lot of hard-working volunteers put in hours. They're working right now, making sure everything is perfect for when people come through the gates to watch the Santa Maria Elks Rodeo. And now, Tina Tanasha is the Chief Operations Officer of the Elks Recreation Committee, which puts on the annual rodeo. And she's the first one that will tell you that it's the volunteers that make it work, but it wouldn't happen without her leadership and the guidance of the Elks Rec President, Peter Sterling. But they're all about the rodeo. They're working on it 12 months a year, and they're working to bring new and exciting acts and new and exciting events, and they've got some really new things coming this year. We have, for instance, professional women are going to do breakaway roping, and that's the first time it's happened in Santa Maria, and it's now going to be a regular tour event.
We were selected to be one of the PRCA. They established a new Pro Rodeo Tour, and our Santa Maria Elks Rodeo was selected as one of the top 59 rodeos to be featured on that tour, which will enable the Cowboys to earn a little extra money on the circuits that they travel. So it helps us to get the better contestants, and we've always had really good contestants at our rodeo, the top national finals, as you know, contestants. But it's really exciting to be one of the tour rodeos and know that we're part of that program as well this year.
And now this year we're adding women's breakaway roping as a new sanctioned event. That's exciting.
It is very exciting. According to WPRA, they decided to go ahead and embrace the breakaway roping under their organization. This is the maiden voyage year. They've decided to sanction 35 rodeos throughout the season, and we were selected as one of those rodeos, which we're pretty honored to be a part of. I had no idea what we would get contestant-wise. Kind of hoping, 10 or 15 would be awesome, and right now Santa Maria Elks Rodeo leads the season with the most entries at 42.
So speaking of entries and that, there are a number of local women, plus we have local competitors in several of the PRCA events, so that's a good sign too.
We do. It's amazing to know that a lot of our hometown cowboys and cowgirls will be competing. Thursday night's performance, family night tomorrow night, as it drew up, 3 of our high school rodeo kids will be featured in the breakaway roping. So to be able to see them featured in a performance, and one of those is Clarence's great-granddaughter. So, you know, he must be proud to know that she'll be competing on a professional level in our arena.
Cody Snow's going to be here.
Yes.
I first started following him at the Minetti Mini Rodeo, and now he's #1 on the Pro Rodeo Tour and number 4 in the nation. He should be going to his 2nd straight National Finals rodeo. Not just Luke Branquino, but
oh no, we have a lot of
Snow, and I mean, that just shows the quality of cowboys that come out of the Central Coast.
And I think a lot of that has to do with you know, our high school rodeo program, our mini rodeo program, our mini rodeo qualifier. You know, there's so many programs for the kids to participate in here locally, and we are seeing that trend, Elliott. We are seeing a lot of these young. The half of the entries for Breakaway came from high school rodeo, college, Cuesta College, and Cal Poly team members. So to see that number of youth competitors, sorry, a little tired, to see, you know, almost 50% of the competitors be at the youth level is pretty darn exciting for us.
I love the Breakaway because it's another fast event, and I'm glad to see more women included.
Right.
Is there something that's your favorite? It doesn't even have to be in the arena. It could be Camp Buckaroo.
Our Golden Circle program.
Tell us a little about that.
It's a program we started about 3 years ago. We bring in 25 children in our community that are battling life-threatening cancer. We're all about youth, Elliott. We're all about the youth in our community. And we just found that there was a need, that these families need us. They need our help. Pediatric cancer is not talked about very often. It's very sad, and people don't want to have that conversation. And I realized that 3 years ago. And it came on my heart that we are a pretty amazing event, and we have some pretty amazing people here at Team Santa Maria. And I knew that we could do something to change that we have a strong voice, and we were going to start talking about it. And we did. We bring in 25 children. We treat them like champions, because in our heart, there's nobody more of a champion than a kid fighting cancer. Nobody. So we make sure that they know that we know they're champions, and we bring in everybody, and we have a wonderful dinner catered by the Hitching Post, and these kids get to experience Elks Rodeo and be a part of something amazing that evening.
You know, there's so much going on at the rodeo besides in the arena. They have pre-rodeo concerts every night. When you come in, there's a concert right as you enter. When the rodeo wraps up, there's a dance every night that everybody is welcome to come and attend. And of course, besides the riding and roping, there's the rodeo clown. He provides constant entertainment throughout the program, every program, all weekend. And it's Justin Rumford who's coming back for his 4th year. And he is now the 7-time Professional Rodeo Cowboy Association Clown of the Year. And he's won the Coors Man in the Can award 3 times as the best barrel man, because he's got to do 2 jobs. He's got to entertain the crowd as a clown, and then he's also the man in the barrel when the bulls come out, working closely with the 2 bullfighters to make sure all of the rodeo bull riders are safe. And Justin is a great guy, and he is not immune to injury. He's also been nailed while he's in the arena, but he's back, and he loves coming to Santa Maria.
I love this rodeo. It started every year I come back, I like it more because you get to know more people, and you know, you almost can build a little bit of a fan base. Some rodeos switch every year, some don't. The ones that switch every year are always kind of hard, because you come in, you kind of have to get people to kind of like your show, and by the 4th performance, then when people start warming up to you, then it's over. So to get to come back to this rodeo has been great for me, because I've got to meet a lot of different people and kind of build me a group of folks, and plus the hospitality is wonderful. The weather is beautiful. I mean, there's no better place to rodeo, you know, the end of May than Santa Maria.
This is a great rodeo too. It's a medium-sized rodeo. We get good crowds, and they love you here. You just go out there and they love you.
I just have a good time. This rodeo is so cool because all the different things it has. I mean, there's not just rodeo events. We've got, we've got fighting bulls, and we got our regular rodeo stuff. Then we, there's always something extra with motorcycle jumpers in the past, and like there's always something going on here, so that's what I like about it. Even me, coming in, I don't exactly know what we're gonna see, so it's always great to kind of have that excitement, come back to something new, something different.
You got the best seat in the house, although you don't really have a seat.
Yeah.
And some of the performances, you're in the can, the Coors beer can barrel.
Yeah.
But I mean, you have the best seat for all the action.
I think so. I love being in the arena. No joke, being in the arena is a great place to be, because in this world we live in, there's a lot of bad things going on, but that's a great thing about rodeo. You go in the arena for 2.5 hours a night. There's no worries, there's no fear, just a good time, just a great place to be. So it's kind of my getaway.
Now you're the seven time in a row Pro Rodeo Clown of the Year.
Yes.
And a 4-time, is it, Man in the Can? 3 times.
Yep.
4's Man in the Can.
Yeah, I won that in 13, 15, and 18.
And then the last 7 from the PRCA.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good streak. Your streak was in jeopardy this year because of a zebu?
Well, yeah, I had to take off about a month and a half from a broken leg, but it's okay. My leg's healed, and those awards are great, but it's also great not to be on crutches. So
now, and I mentioned Caleb Moon. He's the junior barrelman. That's pretty unique in the world of rodeo that we have a junior barrelman at Santa Maria.
I love it. Last year was the first year we did the junior barrelman, and it went over great. And so I think a lot of these kids that get involved in this program, they're going to be able to look back and with some good memories, and maybe they'll have a career someday out of it. Who knows?
Well, his mother was a former queen of this rodeo.
Oh!
His grandmother was a first runner-up for the queen.
Yeah.
And his teacher right now was a queen. His teacher down at Solvang, where he goes to elementary school.
I'll be.
Queen. So he's the first one that is going to be on the other side.
Yeah.
He's a junior barrelman, keeping the family.
Oh, I love it.
alive.
Yep.
So he's going to be out there with you, right?
A lot of rodeo is family, so that's pretty cool. I'm glad to see that.
Well, welcome back to Santa Maria. Thank you for taking time.
Always good to see you. Always good to hear from you.
So every year, Justin is joined in the arena. Now for this year, it'll be the second year he's joined by a junior barrelman. That's Caleb Moon. He's a great young fella who will be out for every performance. And of course, for now 7 years, we've had celebrity media clowns. And I've been one of them every single year. I did my duty this morning at the Manatee Mini Rodeo. And of course I do that because it's in front of 6,000 kids and I have no trouble embarrassing myself in front of them. And then somebody else can do it in front of the adults. But you're out there, you're in the arena dirt. You should see Caleb Moon running around and playing in that arena dirt. He's a great junior barrelman. But it all starts with the dirt. You don't think about it, but you got to talk to Joe Dirt, Joey Silva, once in a while, because we have championship dirt that the Cowboys and Cowgirls are running on here at the Elks Unocal Event Center. Tina calls you Joe Dirt, but that's actually a compliment because you are like the world champion dirt curator. Right?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm world champion. We'll just say that I put all the right people in the right places and took advice from all the right people to get the recipe right for the arena.
Now, it's, people come out, they watch the rodeo, they love the rodeo, and they're in this dirt arena. But it's not like you just have dirt. I mean, it's not just you grab dirt. I mean, you really have to work to prepare this dirt. It's a science, isn't it?
It is, and it has turned into a science to the fact that 2 years ago we got a grant from the Women's Professional Barrel Racers to get a soil sample. So we went around, we prepped the arena, and we took samples from about 20 different spots, mixed it all up, and it went back to a lab back, the guy's in Michigan, and he does soil testing. And they did, and we, in matter of fact, we sent them a sample of our water too. So they tested the soil, tested the water. They sent us 2 pages of what our makeup of the dirt was, what was in our water, and then they gave us suggestions. Here, this is what you need to do to correct the problems that you have.
Now you guys have worked really hard, and the PRCA rewarded you with an honor for the best arena dirt.
Well, it was the WPRA. So,
WPRA.
Yeah, the Women's Professional Barrel Racers. They, towards the end of their season every year, the girls all get together and they vote on the ground that they liked the best, that was most consistent throughout the whole rodeo event. And ours apparently was the best consistent. We like I said, we got first place in the California circuit.
So it's important to get that ground right, not only because it gives you that consistency, but for the safety of the horses and the riders.
Correct. Yeah, you have to have that. Like I said, we call it fluff, but about the top 4 inches is pretty spongy, but down underneath it, it's a little bit firmer. So if the horse actually breaks through our top fluff and gets into that second layer, it's still soft enough to where they can get grabbed and keep going and not slip with their footing.
Now we have the Great American Quarter Horse, is what everybody rides.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to love it out there.
Exactly. As a matter of fact, last year, the reigning world barrel racing champion, Nellie Miller, and the #1 horse in the world, they came out and turned the first 16-second time that we'd ever seen in our arena.
The horse has got to love that.
Yeah, she went out there. She was turning and burning. I mean, it was a phenomenal run, and then to look up and see that she turned a 16:91, and the best times that we'd ever seen before were 17:20s, 17 teens. So I mean, she was 2.5 tenths faster than everybody else. But then all the girls who were kind of behind her were all in the 17.1, 17.2. So I mean, you had 10, 15 riders that were all within 2 or 3 tenths of each other. So the ground was actually pretty consistent for everybody.
Now that arena dirt is important to all of the competitors here, especially the ones that end up in the dirt. You're riding and you're roping and everything, and there's not a whole lot of team ropers that fall off the horse, but there's a whole lot of saddle bronc riders and bull riders that end up eating dirt. So it's nice for them that at least it's a bit of a soft landing. Embarrassing, but a little softer because of Joey Dirt and his crew. The first event is, in every rodeo here at Santa Maria, is extreme bronc riding, and there's a lot of these guys that not only end up in the dirt, they get dragged through the dirt. This is wild. It's like a wild horse race where they try to stop, saddle, and ride a wild horse through the finish line before anybody else. And Bill Agan is the president of that association. He's from right here in San Ynez, and he'll tell you all about it. Extreme bronc riding.
Yes.
You're the first guys out of the gate, and it's mayhem. Tell us about that.
I don't know if I'd call it mayhem, but it's probably controlled chaos. Okay, it's a 3-man team event, and the idea is this year we'll run 7 or 8 teams at a time because of the entries. We have a barrel on the other side of the arena, directly across from the chutes, 30 feet off the fence. And the idea is to take an unbroke horse, take him out there, slow him down enough that you can drop an arm over his neck, hold on to him while you put a saddle on him, and then buck him through the finish line, which is between the barrel and the fence. And it's not timed. It's called a scramble event. And so your placings are how you place, and you get points for each one. And that's how it'll determine the winner of the rodeo.
Now, controlled chaos that it might be, it's different from some of the other rough stock events because they go one at a time. This is why I say it's mayhem, because everybody's in the arena. The horses they just want to go where they want to go, and they go left and right and straight. And you guys are not just out there all alone.
That's true. And if you have 7 teams out all at one time, you have 21 guys and 7 horses all in the arena at the same time. But, you know, it's like any other event. If you've done it and you get used to it and you learn what you have to do to not get run over. It doesn't always happen that way. Doesn't happen. I'll be the first to tell you I've been run over a lot of times, smacked, kicked down. But when you're out in the arena, basically you're only interested in one thing, your horse and that finish line. Everything else is kind of a blur. I mean, you watch for it, you look over your shoulder, if somebody's hollering, coming down on you, or look out, here I come. You see them, you wait till they get there, you step forward, the horse bucks by you or something like that. You know, that happens. But of course, a few years ago, my boys KO'd me right out of the chute, you know. Coming by in front of them, their horse came out a little bit late, and man, did he tip me upside down. But my neck was out really bad for about 3 weeks, and I put it in when I hit the ground right there. And so I figured I got something out of it that was really worthwhile.
Now there's somebody else that's out there in the arena. They're not competing, but they're riding, and you see them all night. They're about the first people you see, about the last people you see, every night. And that's the Sponsor Flag Girls. And Jeanette Vino has been running the Sponsor Flag Girls team for decades. I mean decades. Over 30 years she's been in charge. She's out there with her team. They have to compete to get on the team. They have to work hard. They have regular practices because Jeanette wants it to come off with military precision. And I tell you, these Sponsor Flag Girls are all impressive young women, and Jeanette is really proud of all of her team.
Hi, Elliott. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good.
You all set for the rodeo?
I hope so.
Now you are in charge. You're the chairman of the Sponsor Flag Girls.
Yes,
right?
That's correct.
How long have you been doing that?
31 years this year.
31 years. And how many young women do we have out there?
We probably have 25 this year.
25?
Yes.
Okay, so what is their job?
Their job is to carry the sponsor flags. The sponsors are what put on the rodeo. So we get the sponsor flags in, and they do hot laps after each event to signify which sponsors are for that event.
That's cool.
Yes.
But it's not just a simple thing about some girls that have horses showing up.
No.
I mean, there's tryouts and practices. Tell us about that.
They need to be able to ride, have their own horse, be able to carry the flag. It's an 8-foot pole with a 3x5 flag, and obviously, you know, Santa Maria gets crazy winds, and so be able to handle that flag and ride their horse and steer their horse and stop their horse.
And do it in formation.
Yes.
They're pretty impressive young women, though.
Yes. Yeah. Most of them are teenagers, early 20s, 30s. And yeah, they have a lot of fun. We have a really good team, and the girls enjoy doing it. They love it. They like their friends, you know, see their friends. Their friends see them out there, and so they really like that too.
And we've had some of the young women that were queens or queen candidates, or some of them that were actual rodeo competitors themselves, right? Yes.
A lot of the girls, some of them have ran for Elks Rodeo Queen to help the community and to raise scholarship money for them going to school. And then after their queen contest or whatever, then either they come back the following year or they ride. Some of them have ridden and done both. It just depends on what their schedule is.
So it's fun though, isn't it?
Yes.
And they get to ride like the wind.
Yes. Well,
and
into the wind. They ride into the wind.
But they don't get scored the way like the barrel racers do or the breakaway ropers.
No.
So, but it's a good time.
Yes,
and it's an important part of the event, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. I mean, that's it. The sponsors are what puts on the rodeo, and so, you know, the sponsors like to see their flags out there too.
So, thank you for being with us, and remember, we're live right now, but we'll be rebroadcasting this at 6 o'clock tonight. And it'll be on Facebook, our Facebook Live, and just join us for that, because we're going to do live chat, and you'll be able to ask me questions, and hopefully I'll be able to come up with the answers. I know somebody who can come up with all the answers is Peter Sterling. He's the president of Elks Recreation. You know, this just doesn't happen the last week of May or the first weekend of June. They don't just throw up the bleachers and invite the Cowboys to come out here, and it just happens. They work on this 12 months a year. They will take a little bit of a break after it's over on Sunday, and then they'll be right back at it by the middle of June. They'll be preparing for the 77th annual Santa Maria Elks Rodeo. But it's nonstop action, 12 months a year, and it falls to Peter Sterling as the president of Elks Rec and also the man behind the Queen Candidate program to make sure it all comes together so that you have a great time when you get out here.
It's turned into more of a year-round deal. We have so much going on that planning and so forth, we start right after rodeo ends.
Yeah, the people that come out here, they come out, the place is beautiful, it gets better every year, but it doesn't just pop up, and it's not like this all the time.
No, it isn't. In fact, you know, when you come out, you wonder just a month ago, you wonder if we'd be holding a rodeo here, but now if you can see the arena today and everything looks great and that we're all ready for rodeo, it doesn't just happen, it's all because of the volunteers that we have that put it together and work very hard to get it done. So, yeah, it looks really good.
The volunteers are really the backbone.
Oh, absolutely.
They don't get a whole lot of publicity.
No.
But you couldn't do this without them.
Oh, no. It just wouldn't happen without the volunteers that we have.
Now, as president of Elks Rec, you're responsible for putting this all on, and you have committees, you have people helping you, and then, of course, we mentioned the volunteers.
Sure.
But you have another committee you're also the head of.
Right.
That you've done for what, 15, 17 years?
About 17 years, yeah, the Queen Contest.
Queen Contest,
yeah.
There you go. Now, that's an important part of this rodeo, and you're the guy that has to take charge of that, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've been off and on. I started working in '96, and then took a little, about 6 or 7 years off, came back in 2013, and brought it back together and made it what it is today.
And, I mean, it's, you know, there are signs here that say that you've raised over 11 million, almost $12 million.
Just about $12 million bucks. In fact, I think we went over a little over $12 million this last year.
Yeah, I thought so too. You haven't updated that sign that I'm looking at.
No, that's
so that's one little touch.
That's one little touch. It'll be done by rodeo.
Okay. There's not much time.
No, I know.
But that's important, that money you guys have raised. That shows the importance of those young women and what they're doing.
Right. And you know, we've worked so well with this program now that we got our costs down so much that they get back a substantial amount of the money that they've raised. Just, you know, a small percentage goes just cost to running the program, and the organizations get back the rest. So we're giving back a lot of money back to the community.
And it does good. It's mostly used for youth programs, but
not just youth programs. We have vocational, the VTC Enterprises, for example, they help the handicapped people, mentally disabled, learn skills so that they can be gainfully employed. And we have the United Way is they're focused on veterans that are homeless and their families and getting them homes and get them a leg up so they can get a second start to life.
So that's important, but the thing that the people are coming out here, they're supporting a lot of these causes, but they're coming to see the rodeo. What kind of rodeo are we going to have this year?
We're going to have an awesome rodeo this year. We made the Pro Tour, which is a very big honor for us. And there are only 59 rodeos in the United States that get this honor out of 600 rodeos. And we're very surprised but honored to have that selection this year. That means the top rodeo riders and contestants will be competing in this rodeo, in this event this year.
Right, because they're trying to earn points to make it to the Pro Rodeo Tour Finals.
Right, to the national finals.
Give them an extra financial boost to make it to the NFR.
Right, exactly.
So being only one in 10 rodeos gets this designation.
Right.
Top 10%. That's pretty impressive.
That's pretty impressive for the United States. We're in the top 10. I mean, that's, if you think about the other ones, you've got Calgary Stampede, you got Cheyenne, you got all these other big rodeos, and Santa Maria's in there with them. First, we thought it was a misprint when we first saw it, and then we had to, you know, verify and just make sure, and they said, yeah, you're in there. So we're very honored to have this designation.
Yeah, and that'll give some of the top riders, the ropers.
Oh, absolutely.
And Breakaway ropers are coming this year.
Yeah, in fact, I've heard we've made a record for the contestants this year. We've had, I believe it was around 42 contestants that's actually signed up for it. So man, that's a lot, and that's more than any other, as I understand, it's more than any other rodeo has had in the breakaway roping. If you go anywhere you go with rodeo, National Finals Rodeo, and other people that are involved in the rodeo, they'll recognize you as being somebody from Santa Maria, and they'll say, wow, that's a great rodeo. And I even went down to one in San Bernardino a while back and watched that one, and I had people come up to me and say, you're from Santa Maria? We just love that rodeo. You know, we build our vacations around that. It's awesome. You know, it's really great. Really good honor to see how far we've come.
So there is a lot going on for the next 4 days. The Santa Maria Elks Rodeo begins at 7 o'clock tonight. Now, we'll be back at 6 o'clock on our Facebook page, and we'll go Facebook Live with you, and we'll be able to chat back and forth, so ask us questions. We'll be happy to answer them to the best of our ability. I've been doing this 19 years. I've been coming out here, so I may not know everything, but hopefully we'll have some, if not all, of your answers. Also at 6 o'clock tonight, if you want to get out here before the rodeo, that's at 7. But we've got Central Coast Got Talent. The finals are tonight right here at the rodeo grounds, and that starts at 6 o'clock. And then, like, there's going to be concerts before every performance. There'll be concerts at the dance hall after every performance. The Queen will be, that's so near and dear to Peter Sterling's heart, will be crowned Friday night at 6. So there's going to be something going on. They honor a different dignitary every night. I know Jay Turner from Sunny Country is getting the award this year on Saturday night. And of course, Sunday is an afternoon matinee at 2 o'clock where all the championships will be decided. All the champions will be crowned, the men and the women in all the events. So it's really a weekend. You know, you got the Midway, you got Camp Buckaroo. They've got something new this year too. This was so popular, and people, you know, have to park some distance sometimes away from the arena. Don't be afraid of that anymore. If you want to come out and you get parked far away, there's going to be a new free shuttle service to take you right to the gate where you're supposed to go. So come on out, get on the shuttle, take a nice comfortable ride over here, and then come and enjoy the show, and they'll be there to take you back to your car when it's all over. So it's going to be food, fun, and rodeo for the next 4 days here at the Santa Maria Elks Unocal Event Center, the 76th annual Santa Maria Elks Rodeo. I'm Elliott Stern. Thank you for joining us. And as they like to say, they like to begin their rodeos, it is time to cowboy up.